And Heroic, they've had a pretty comfortable yesterday. Didn't have to play up to all, of course, and got to the stage here now by opening things up against Astralis. They got them into that horrible position against Navi, and then they beat Tyloo on this very map. It was 16-13, quite a close affair. The analysts are right there. This is probably my favorite team, Matt, to watch on Cobble, Dignitas. We talk about their fundamentals and their approach a lot on this, and I expect to see some of it. They will be starting on the T side here. 4 sets of armor. And here we go. MSL. He's got the smoke of 2 flashbangs. And here we go, the final best of 3 of this evening, the Danish derby.
And we're right back into things on Cobblestone. Freeze hits a lovely opening shot with the USB silenced. That's going to put them back toward the site. They fall off. They're being disciplined. We may not see that same fast and aggressive approach we saw from the French. I think this will be a little bit more methodical, as they said on the desk. Flash over. Snappy caught by that. He'll round himself back toward the hut, toward the site. Freeze hits the shot on Rubino first, and Freeze, he's gone high on barrels. He's got a third. He's on fire, but it is cajunb to wrap back around inside of the site and find the 2 we spoke of. It's now the rotations that come into effect.
Well then, Glaive, he does find the headshot on cajunb. Now leaves MSL in a difficult situation. He's got time to play with, so he's not going to commit. Or is he towards A? He has got the bomb. Time to play with, but the CTs don't want to give anything away here. They want to make sure they listen out for that plan. They're happy for that to go down. And they do risk with 1 player facing. That could be a little bit problematic. But in the back, here comes Vald. MSL, though, biding his time. He knows this is coming.
Yeah, he's definitely waiting for this. Valda, he's been impressive throughout this.
Oh.
Wow. Oh, you
just typical, isn't it?
Yep. But Valda's been very impressive throughout the course of this tournament. He's another player that we do have to speak about in that regard. As Heroic take a 1-0 lead. And I do mention this again. If you looked at the HLTV scoring system based on the top 20, now 30, I think they've expanded it up to the top 30 teams in the world, they have the finest performance over the recent history. So their improvement, I think, is scored at 250. Don't know what that means. You can look it up. It's all there. But they're the best of anyone over the last few weeks.
Yeah, finding themselves just outside the top 10. Very impressive ascendance from now. I think they're at number 11 right now. And it's going to be the 4 spy from Dignitas after not getting the bomb down here. Tech9s and Deagle straight towards drop down. Molly, though, he's waiting for them and actually has a very decent flashbang to kick things off. Efficient headshots as well. Vald chimes in, and this round is over. Simple affair there for Molly. Didn't seem pressured at all. Lands all the kills he needs to. No bomb planted for Dignitas. That's a fully good going forward. Pause comes in. This is for Heroic,
yeah, it is. Okay, so this should be technical.
Yeah, of course. It's the CT's doing it, so must be some sort of TeamSpeak issue or something like that. Sound problem, yeah. Well then, Dignitas force by doesn't amount to too much.
We'll see what the admins can resolve quickly. Yeah, force by is not going to really amount to much. It is T side. They can justify doing so a little bit more than the obvious CTs can. They can go for the bomb plant. They can get cheaper guns off the black market than those registered through the government on the counter-terrorist side. So it all makes sense.
It's weird the counter-terrorists to buy them themselves, isn't it?
Hey, you'd think it'd be government funded, but I think what Counter-Strike has realized is we're so far advanced in the world of esports that we've realized the world's economy is truly going to collapse when Donald Trump gets elected, so you do have to buy guns.
Right, well, now at least we're all up to speed. At least with your theories. Round number 3.
That's probably the worst thing.
Round number 3, this will not be anything for Dignitas here. Just 5 Glocks, not even a PT-50, no bombs planted at all. Means they're going to be pretty limited in that first gun round, so I want to make sure they have as much as possible. Rushing towards drop down potentially here. Morty once again looking for that spray down. He got killed before this UMP. This time he looks a bit more pressured. The Glock's actually coming out on top, but Glaive's there to mow them down with a little bit of help from Vald as well. It's going to be a little bit interesting with that first kill, but they managed to rectify it, and it's 3-0 in favor of Heroic.
Very convincing first 3 rounds as well.
Yeah.
3 kills total on each of those rounds. They only picked up 1 Dignitas. AWP immediately for Freeze as he started off well in the pistol round with the 3K. He's got the money to do so, and that's going to leave him in a prime position against AK-47s. It does mean they also leave 2 SMGs in the mix, though. That's Snappy and Glaive.
Yeah, well, definitely viable weapons in positions like this, towards danger, drop down, for example, where the other one is. There it is. So it means you're going to get extra cash for this, and actually very viable close-range weapon as well. But Dignitas, we know they like to work towards middle and long A as well. Got a very efficient way of taking it. Bristow under pressure. He should be taken down here. Can't actually find any room to work with. And Snappy, he felt like he could have been helping him out there, but finds one. And in return, MSL takes him down, and it's going to be the man advantage, 4 versus 3 for the terrorists.
So finally, Dignitas with something to work with. They've got the AWP as well. Electing not to use it, yeah. Cajun B, you would have thought he might have picked that up, but they want the execution, they want the tactics, they want to get aggressive and get the AK-47s inside of the site. Smokes off toward both balcony and the doorway. Rubens Barrichello going to hold off against Glaive. I like that they brought that up on the desk, but I also agree with Halvor. Why would you want to be perpetually second as Madi? Wallace smokes. We haven't exactly seen this full execution in that regard, and Config's going to catch him off. So they segregate. They actually wrap back around through their own smokes by going down to the bottom of mid, hoping the CTs panic and go to the platform of A, and then they open up a passage towards B. That's actually kind of clever.
Yeah, Dignitas have a great approach in Cobble. Definitely at their peak were one of the best teams on this specific map. You can see there, Classy Rubino, he's known for holding those B-halls, very good at positioning himself for the rotating CTs. He finds quite an easy kill there, and it was just that first kill from Freeze. He was trying to do what he could from danger there, but his sandwich and his teammate couldn't help him out, just that UMP couldn't actually justify a long-range face. But they still have lots of money here. We said those first 3 rounds were very efficient. So they still have the AWP, believe it or not, and 4 rifles to go with him. Same tactic again, exact same approach from the terrorists this time, but Freeze changes position, much more passive, not allowing them to get a close range as last time.
And just again with these 5 AK-47s. He's going to slowly work with his teammates out toward long smokes again this time, Config. And he's the only one set right now. Cajun's just holding the angle, to make sure that they don't get pushed. MSL as well, making sure no one pushes through from Heroic's side. The AWP on Freeze has gone all the way back toward balcony. He's looking to catch them when they work towards stables. He hasn't committed to a drop. So he can still rotate back to connector. Potentially unscathed in doing so, but there's no activity on that side of the map. Dignitas again putting these smokes out. And is it going to be the same wall? Is it going to be the same setup? Because Snappy is in a much better position to counter that. But what a flash coming through. They time it perfectly. Back corner over the arch, pops inside of the doorway, and he never even has a chance to dodge nor move. And they walk in and take him down all too easy. Freeze misses the first shot out toward the front of the site. He's good from range, but that time he doesn't come up and charge, and it's going to be Cajun B punishing him for it as Rubino starts to wrap around behind the APC. And you got to think Snappy, with that flash coming through, is going to think twice before playing that position again. Config on site does take a nade, but bomb down 2 versus 2 as Madi pushes back in. And he's awake behind the armored vehicle as Config on the site has Cajun B at bottom of middle. Glaive, he doesn't need to pick this Config. He needs to bait him in. He needs to give Cajun B a chance, but Madi, he's already bypassed Cajun B. He can almost get on this right away, and he'll call that. Madi, go for the defuse potentially immediately? No. He's going to stay off at low HP. Cajun B, he's got a chance therefore. And he spots Madi toward the barrels. Smartly won't retake this, but he's on it now. He is on it now. He's got 2 seconds. Cajun B, he's made a mistake. No, he's just got it. He's just got it. Oh, that is close.
Less than a second, I think. That was unbelievably close. It was a great plant for Dignitas, and this is why I love their approach so much. Did you see how beautiful that take of middle was? So methodical. We said it was going to be a more tactical game here than what we saw in the French derby, and absolutely so far. Dignitas with the classic stuff towards middle, flashing perfectly together, the smokes coming in perfectly as well, and the Molotovs in the site. When the A players had such a difficult time, and Modi doing what he could to bring it down to a one-on-one, but not quite enough. A huge round for Dignitas to bring up, and Heroic now down to a full eco. They've got some PT50s involved. A CZ. But this is the start after losing the pistol. Dignitas are 2 gun rounds in a row. Very strong on the T side of this map. Definitely capable of getting double figures there.
That plant, yeah, you mentioned it as well. That's so smart. I really like that wide plant. It's not often you see it, and you are still protected from the hut, at least from the balcony perspective, not so much from the door. MSL now rounding corner. Slower starts to these rounds as the tactical leaders go to work. And again, Stables occupied. Again, the A site where Dignitas go against pistols once more. And Snappy found similar position to where he perished last time. Hanging white cross on the doorway.
It's getting awfully hot in there, Modi.
Yeah, very hot. Cajun B is going to catch him as he tries to exit the hut. Well, and they flash through to chase down these remaining pistols, but they don't want to give away kill money either. They know there's 2 SMGs up.
Yeah, with this UMP, Config can definitely justify going on the hunt. It's going to be matches with the same weapon as well. They've read this situation quite nicely. They know it's pretty much a full eco. These weapons can be very effective against unarmored players and farms them out to cash as well. But apparently, Rubino, he's going to go down. Hasn't given away the weapon just yet. Cajun B's trying to hold that off. As Valve retreats. And Briss does pick up the weapon, and he finds a second kill as well. So with 5 HP, I was about to say, if he kept the weapon, that could be very interesting indeed, but not meant to.
Magisk is going to go down. Surely Glave's found him. Yeah, just as he went underneath the drop, Glaive got the shot with the pistol. It was a UMP, so maybe not the end of the world, but it is another kill for Heroic. 3-3. Dignitas come immediately back after losing pistol.
They do indeed. And it is a relatively good buy. You can see Glaive there. He said staying alive towards the end of that round, goes in with the UMP, safe in the previous, and Freeze back on the AWP. They've been bullying him towards that A site. He's had a real rough time getting into this game, but it looks like a fast B approach here. Actually, all 5 players committing to the upper platform. This is going to be very fast indeed.
Volda downed immediately. Tries to play inside of the tree, and it's MSL and cbble with the opening kills. Maudie, he comes out from the Molotov, though. Ladies caught them up. Bomb. Oh, the open doesn't catch it, but does nail them. Nice shot on Rubino as soon as he rounds the corner. But bomb is planted. Remember that, because now it's 3 versus 3, and they can play off time. They've got smokes toward Tree Alley, and Config comes down late. Snappy's gone. They're limited. Ooh, who's going up, guys? Make the decision. It's going to be the AWP of Freeze, not Maudie. And that's going to be costly as Config gets them both as a result.
A straight-up B rush, but what an explosive one it was. They got their first 2 kills, and we thought, that's it. The CT's out of the round, but Maudie, he's been great this tournament. He's actually shown some really strong form. He has 2 great kills, makes it a realistic possibility for the CTs once again. But the Molotovs are deployed, and all of a sudden, Heroic are locked out of the situation. And Dignitas take 4 rounds in a row here. Another eco for Heroic going forward. Well, SMG still in the hands of Rubino. Just some 5-7s and CZs to work with here. Glaives with the body armor. Looks like it's the exact same tactic again, Matthew.
2 nades out just to clear off the bottom of the broken wall, and in they fall toward the B site. It's Maudie that confronts first, and this time he's not going to get away with kills. He's going to get death step by MSL. As Config and Rubino will follow that up as well. And we can just keep on chatting for a moment, Henry, about what we might expect, because now it's going to be a maximum loss bonus going the way of Heroic.
Sure. Well, that means they're currently got the money at around 2K mark here, yeah, 3,400. There's definitely a possibility of getting the AWPs out here. They could go double AWP if they wanted to. B's being a bit of a problem. Those rushes, they're quite passive on their CT hold. They're focusing towards drop down. Maybe let's get the double AWPs out. Let's get an AWP towards the upper platform, try and shut that down. Or even just move Friss away with a single AWP and just bring him over to that side of the map. Let's get that lockdown upper platform. We know that's going to be a risk that's eradicated, and have some more rifles towards A. It seems like he's struggling with the executions. He's being locked out towards the A site. As soon as they get control, Dignitas are very good at opening up that site. So maybe the rifles being a little bit up closer would be beneficial for them.
We'll see if that's the case or not. MSL so far calling a great game, getting all those early executions with some clever smokes onto the A site, a wide plant toward cannons.
Yeah.
Some nifty calls and some nifty play from Dignitas, then hits B twice, and now you're starting to spread out the defense and cause them to second-guess themselves.
What a different game this is compared to what we saw in the French guys. That was just a straight-up brawl, right? This toe-to-toe action every single time. No love lost between them. This is a very methodical and tactical game, and Vowed, he goes in first, takes down cbble through the smoke on the upper platform.
And just in general, too, that cobblestone game between the French is something that everyone should see, but this tournament has had some incredible matches throughout. Astralis Tai Lu yesterday was fantastic as well, and I think we really are in an interesting time for CS with these roster changes, these, you know, ascendancies of Heroic and all kinds of storylines to follow. First kill Freeze, but yeah, new teams, absolutely. But Config and cbble both downed early, and Freeze with 1 kill on the AWP. Valda's got the other. He's been quiet so far, Valda, but I expect him to step up as this goes on. He always seems to find a way in certain rounds of pulling things back for his team. This time he's giving them the lead. It's Glaive just dancing on the stairwells, waiting to peek this, but there's 2 members facing him down. They're going to set for a flash, over top of the wall, and it is going to be Valda and Glaive. As mentioned, those 2 players just setting up a crossfire. 4 rounds now. The guns, that was seemingly straightforward considering how slow Dignitas played it.
Absolutely. It's those first 2 picks coming in for Heroic as well as Vowed and Glaive, that tag team combo on the upper platform. We've seen it a lot online recently, man. They seem deadly in those positions. Glaive especially, and Vowed. These are the 2 of the guys. I'd say they're the superstars of this team at the moment. Maudie's been playing a great tournament so far, but Vowed, for me, has been one of the biggest rises in CSGO in 2016. He really has come out of nowhere and shock everyone, I'd say. But we go into round number 10. Fighters available for both sides, and cbble has got the AWP this time. Holding towards the top and middle right now. No B rushes, no fast mid plays just yet, but they are doing the same smokes. That first smoke takes the vision away from CTs. MSL will be getting there first. The idea is anyone up close there as well. That segregates them from falling back. So it's actually a very simple but efficient way to get control of middle. Config getting long A as well. So you can see Snappy, he's ready for this as well. Maudie playing the other side of stables. He watches mid, and they try and play off each other. They hunt for information and get those early frags.
Config. Already clearing out danger, but it's Magisk that's the furthest one up behind him. They've got MSL, but it's just MSL. Madi with a great shot. You mentioned it. One in stables, one without. One on the back side of the barrels as well. They may not even get that far. Snappy's got the kill on Config as he rounds the corner, and Madi damage is dealt to 2. The last 2.
Both.
Yeah, can't close it off. Lovely M4. Not only do you not get government-funded weapons, you get weapons that can't kill.
Well, apparently so. Set the stun.
And a nice Molotov on the bomb. Rubino does hold the angle against Snappy, but he can't grab that. He'll go down immediately on 1 HP, and Clave will use an AK to steal that from him.
Yeah. I really like that setup, though. The one on the other side of stables, it may look like a common angle that everyone plays, but the fact is, when you're coming up that ramp yourself, you've got so many angles you need to be aware of. You're looking towards the bomb site, the APC, the balcony, the connector doors. The stable's the last one you check, and if they've just got to watch that one angle towards mid, they're always going to have the advantage in that respect, and it can be work out very nicely if you have a player watching long A as well. So that's good recovery so far from Heroic. Tying things up at 5-5. No all for the Terrors this time. They will have rifles. One of which is a Gillo on the hands of MSL. We'll see whether Fritz has changed his position at all. He's actually towards B. This is the adjustment we're looking for, Matt. See if they can have more rifle play towards the A site, and that's what we saw last round, and it was actually much more beneficial than Fritz getting locked out.
Config. He's going to double check, make sure that bales are cleared, and then it's going to be off toward the A site once more for MSL and co. And MSL the one with the bomb. Keep in mind, Rubino, though, is still watching this flank as he's done time and time again. Top drop right now. Anyone pushing through long, he should be able to find them. But 3 members on A site. Bomb going away from it. They can't find an early read. They can't get the early information. They didn't find Snappy pushing up, so let's gamble and go back over a minute to work with. I mentioned it in the French matchup. It is a long rotation for the terrorist side on Cobblestone, so you pretty much have to commit, I'd say, around the 35-second mark at the latest, but right now 50 seconds, it looks like it is going to be beat. Smokes off toward window, Molotov bouncing the other way toward Arch, flash in, drop down, get the room, the first room in your control, in your possession, and then start to probe out toward the archway, and it's going to pull a rotation from Snappy behind the window, but Glaive is going to counter this off with smokes of his own, just has to hold the wider angle. With an AK-47, he's carried over. And Dignitas may have drop, but they don't really have control, if that makes any sense, because they can't really get anywhere with this. Yeah, the CTs are obviously well aware this is actually the control coming in, and they're actually trying to shut down Snappy here, but it's Glaive doing some serious work on the other side. This is the chance for Snappy to come through the window as well. He takes down the bomb, and what a great reaction that was from Heroic, knowing they were in there as well. They're going to be attacking from both sides. Now KGB stuck in a horrible situation on the upper platform. And KGB goes down to Freeze, who's been kind of quiet lately with the AWP, but very well done. Very passive but methodical to hold off on that drop room. Just let them fall into their own device. Yeah, this is it. They actually had 3 players in that position as well and weren't really sure where to go with it. Snappy with the distraction on the side, and Glaive just runs in. Well, he's so strong on Cobble, it seems, and he finds the first 2 frags, and then the bomb's dropped as well. And there's another EK for Dignitas. 3 in a row now for Heroic. So Desert Eagles PT50's in the hands of the T's. They have 1 smoke to play with. That's in the hands of MSL. I'd assume he'll just throw that in towards Connector. And they'll try and hope Frisk misses a shot. He's been missing a few this tournament. He misses another there, but makes up for it with the grenade kill with the help of Snappy. Yep. Takes down Snappy with fashion. And Madi going to pop out, take down MSL. We saw Snappy going out toward the cannons as well. That's going to leave him a nice wide angle to cover off the site, but it's a USP pushing out and KGB finding 2 in return. It leaves him in a 1 versus 3, sure, but it's damage done with this P250, and he may get another here. Glaive goes down. That's a gun picked up. KGB, he's given himself a chance. He's got 4, and he's got the bomb. KGB, the one thing he does not have is armor, but he's just pulled back what was a 1 versus 5, and he's going to plant it. Oh, that's risky, but Freeze not on his tail. I thought he was already chasing because he heard him go through the connector. That would have left him in the open, but Freeze now flashes over. And Cajun B has a chance to become an absolute hero, and Freeze thinks he's deep in the site. Cajun's going to watch this. He's standing in the arch. He's got him in the open, and it's an ace clutch from Cajun B. Unbelievable. That's Heroic throwing that round away. Even when it comes down to the 2v1, Cajun, phenomenal job, of course, but the fact he's got in that position, he's waiting by the smoke for the connector door. Why are they rushing out of the connector door for the smoke? Are they just trying to finish it off? This guy's got to plant the bomb. Why are you running for a smoke at the connector door? Play 2 on the site. Either side, you've got players available. Mo likes when you play 2 on the site as well, Henry. True, but that's more now than ever. That was horrible from Heroic. They're going to feel a little bit silly about that one. Just running in, trying to get the frag themselves and be the hero, and they throw the round away. 6-6, Cajun B on the PT50 somehow comes out clutch with an ace as well. Oh, Rubino's dropped down. He tries to find a player inside of the smoke. It's Glaive that's been playing out there. It's Glaive that's in there, and it gives Volda the lineup a second one as well. So Dignitas, after cbbe's incredible performance to pull them back into this and get guns out, are losing this round quickly as they've all rotated over. There's 5 in the B site, not just 2 in config. Last alive, 1 versus 5. It was his turn to be the hero, and that's not going to happen as easily as Snappy. He'll bring him down immediately.
Well recovered. Those kind of rounds can be the one that tilts you, but Dignitas has the fast B play. It seems like Herrera can push it off. He saw Rubino, like you said, dropping down by himself. It was very confusing, those smokes, but it's Vald and Glaive. That tag team combo coming up trumps, and it's a full reset for Dignitas at this point. So losing that max loss bonus, they were just getting 1 AK-47, and cbbe must have a ton of money here after that previous round.
Yeah, just to clarify, I called it was a 1-on-5. It was 1 versus 4 when it started, but he did get the first kill just before
exactly,
on the trades.
It was the ace, right?
Yeah.
But still, that's, like, I'm almost glad they lost that round because that's horrible. He's got to plant the bomb as the point, right? Why are you rushing out trying to get him?
Speaking of cbbe, he's on 9 HP. He got tagged through that smoke, and he's going to get caught as well. Volda, he's got 1 and 2, and Glaive picks up the 3rd on the assist from him spraying down from the archway. I thought he was going to get all 3 on that, but that is just unfortunate for Dignitas, who walk into a slaughter and then they walk back the other way and they find the kettle. It's going to be Madi taking out Majestic, and Volda comes in with his 3+1, so hat trick and an assist for him in the round.
Well, this is actually heroic, picking up the half lead as well. 8-6 as you go into round number 15. This is the T-side of the map still for sure, and this is where Dignitas normally shine on their T-side. They didn't pick up the pistol, but 6 gun rounds. It's not a fantastic result on Cobble. And they go into round number 15. It's not looking any better as well. 4 Galils, 1 AK-47. They opted for the Galils instead of the AK, so they get these extra smokes. As you can see, we know they're a methodical team. We'll probably see one of their full executes coming in this time. All the smokes, a couple of Molotovs on the side as well. Freeze, though, he's been struggling in these situations. Does do damage towards MSL at the start, and actually finishes it off as well. That nade does exactly 50, and he completely wrecks him with it. Lovely stuff from him. Hits him through the door, then finishes it off.
Yep, falls back as well. Now he's got a 3-man setup on the A site, with him included on that AWP now at balcony. Bless you, Henry. I can hear you trying to hold those sneezes in.
Doing my best. Not enough.
To still the demons inside of you.
Yeah, they're trying to escape. You've got to keep them inside, right?
Hold them in like that, you're going to pop a blood vessel. Flash around the corner. Works out. Snappy gets caught. That's going to leave them to exposed to Madi, though, because he trades again for the front of stables, and he gets a 3rd as he looks back inside and finds Rubino in the half. 9-6 to heroic, and I was impressed. I have to say, Dignitas lost the pistol, sure, but I was impressed with their strategies to start, and then they kind of crumble.
Even with that shock over round as well against cbbe, they still get 9 rounds, and you're absolutely right. I'm impressed by the adaptation. We saw Freeze, he was struggling early on those first 3 gun rounds. He was getting locked out of the A site, getting completely shut down by the smokes and the Molotovs in front of him. They adjusted it. We called for it, and they actually managed to move those 2 rifles in. Modi having another fantastic game here. It's been a great LAN for him overall. He gets the most kills for his team, 15 and 9 deaths. And they pick up the pistol here. They're in an amazing position.
I like this, the op stats.
How is this a thing?
That's not accurate. I mean, to be fair, there wasn't much AWP usage from Dignitas. It is cbbe.
cbbe had it twice, to be fair.
I was going to say, it's cbbe.
This guy's got no kills regardless, and he's not the AWPer, so why is he up there?
Well, so that's a one-sided matchup.
Yeah.
What can you say about that one?
Okay then, so 5 sets of armor for Dignitas here on the CT pistol. Very similar buy to what we saw in the first from Heroic. They're going to have 1 smoke, and Cajun, that's aggressive. But Config's there to bail you out as you are trying to do what you can here. Doesn't get a kill, but does damage.
Yeah, Volta almost did go down. That was nearly a headshot. That one certainly is. So too is the other. As Config walks back up, and Rubino back in the site has Volta. It's just down to Snappy, 1 versus 3. Trying to push forward to Rock, but Magix holds the angle. He knows his teammate's already at statue, so all he has to do is watch that passageway. And the round to Dignitas, a very needed round. They can go 9-9 potentially off of this. No plant, so no early buy, at least, unless they can do the same here.
The problem is, though, the Tech 9s, close range, B-bomb site. Very, very scary to hold off, especially if the first kill comes in. I always talk about that snowball effect. It just takes 1 kill, an upgraded weapon at that point, just to get these top teams into it. You can see, though, Dignitas making sure they have some extra firepower here. 3 M4s, keep the range nice and long at this point. Don't want to overcommit towards drop down. As the play comes in, that's Config doing exactly that from Chicken Coop.
Double pickup. Chicken Coop. cbbe up close with the UMP. Config still waiting back there, and Volta's going to try and walk out. Now the Tech 9s go to work, but it's countered MSL through the windowsill. And it's Rubino to close out the round. It's within 1. No plant in either round, and that should entail a save and perhaps even a full save from the Terrorist if Heroic really want to buy in, not buy into this round, but buy into this game to get themselves back into this game in the long run.
Yeah, this will be the full eco. This will be the Glocks going into the B site. Get it over with if you can somehow get a plant. It's like very, very unlikely, maybe a 10% chance of that. But who knows, if you get the Glock kill and towards drop down, maybe someone can step up amazingly with a fallen M4, but it'd be an absolute blunt for the CT to actually allow anything into this one. You see Rubino, that's a one frag position and a full back. Like that, to get the kill.
He's got one, he's got two, he's got, nope, not three. Not quite, but he's pulled over Cajun B, and he'll get three. Cajun 3. 9-9, straightforward, but it looked overwhelming for a moment.
Yeah, that's the thing with drop down. That's why Rubino is playing that position on the windowsill. He can spot it, but he has enough freedom to get back as soon as he spots him coming in. The idea was to get one and get back, but he gets a couple and it's fine, and KGB finishes it off like he said. We go into the first gun round. Everything tied up. It's all reset. 9-9. Dignitas with the UMP, two of them in fact, and the AWP Cajun. Let's see if Magisk, after giving over his AWPing roles, can do anything about it.
And a 4-1 split. Envy-esque. But it's not out toward long with a slip potential through the bottom of middle. They do have Magisk watching that. Look at this aggression. Config, he's the one on the UMP, one of the two UMPs, so they decided to try and go aggressive. It catches them off, though, because Rubino falls in this as well. Sclave and Monty with the kills, and that means Heroic can slow this down considerably. We still have a minute and 20. It was about a minute and 30, but a minute and 20 left in the round when all of that is said and done, and now they can start to work this. Defense is thinned out considerably.
At this point, 1 minute remaining as well, and the majority of Heroic's utility is still intact. Valve, great way to eradicate any risk towards that drop-down area as well. Smoking off towards the window, Molotov on the left, he can give a good call to his teammates and no one's in there. Glaive actually with the bomb towards the bottom of the mid as well, so they got actually CTs guessing as to what's going on here. Good news is for the CTs, I guess they have the man disadvantage, sure, but Cajun B still alive. He's towards B with the AWP, and his teammates need to step up now. Magisk, one of the strongest fraggers, can he step up here?
Magisk just waiting for them to wrap around the APC. With that M4 at hand, he's going to have to find the kills now because he's lost his teammate at MSL. Good selection as he finds one on the inside, wraps back, spots a second, but watch the third player in all of this because they've gotten behind that APC, and Glaive, it's going to leave just Magisk alive, and that's going to end just quickly thereafter to the same man.
It came down to the wire there as well. Magisk did find 2 kills, and the last 2 are very low AD. The problem is he's using the M4A1S. He only has 20 bullets. He runs out. Did what he could, but wasn't quite enough there. And it's a big round for Heroic to pick up, but...
It's an old replay at the end of the first half.
I was getting a little bit confused by that.
I was as well. That's why I wanted to clarify, because I'm sure some others might have been.
It's going to be Dignitas having enough to buy into this one after winning the pistol 3-0, but this will be the last fight for them. You see Heroic, though, still struggling slightly with the cash himself. So UMP in the hands of Snappy. Cajun B has a huge advantage here. He's got the AWP, and this is more of an aggressive setup towards the A site. You can see there's actually 2 players towards the end of long. That's MSL Magic Boy. Look at that setup. They've actually baited someone in on the hay bales. Magic's actually in a corner. That's like the one and done position, but he's actually going to be baiting his teammate to go for the big spray down.
One thing I will say about that, though, is a Molotov very simply cancels a lot of that. But right now it's over toward drop room. They'll head. That means a long rotation as well from those players out toward that hay bale position, but Rubino may not need a rotation, at least not yet. He's got 1 kill. Still not moving on A as well. They're really starting to hope now that that 1 kill will push them back toward the A site, but it has not. And after Rubino finds that kill, he gives up drop room. He wants to stay efficient, but Glaive takes it for the possession of Heroic, which will start the rotations now. So they'll pinch off the back of Connector right now by Cajun B, having an AWP, which puts him in a fairly close position to that windowsill, but it's the B site that's under threat. And they cover off Chicken Coop. Molotov goes to the left. That gives Config the archway. He's going to find the first one inside the smoke. There's a gap there, but he wants the AK. I'm very surprised you go for the AK in that situation when you've still got an obligation to hold the position, as Snappy's now going to make them pay as he gets Rubino as well. And that means Bomb, even though they're a man down, will get planted. And now the rotations, the 3 players to main will arrive. Cajun B, remember, has the AWP from 4. He may not need it. It's going to be Magic instead.
Well then, after losing 1 round, the CTs answer back and fully reset Heroic. The good news is, I guess, they get the bomb down, so it's not a complete disaster. There will be money to do something with, but 2 players on 0. It's the B-sided attack, and it got a bit interesting there. After Config finds 2, like he said, he goes to the AK. That gives Heroic a chance at least of winning the round. They get the bomb planted, but it's going to have to be an eco here. They could go for the partial buy. It wouldn't be much, though. As we go into round number 21, 10-10 another series map where this could go right down to round number 30. Nothing really separating. No one getting a substantial lead here. Although Dignitas 4-1 in the second half.
MSL's going to hold off the bottom of middle. And again, this presence on A, we've seen 4-1 splits. And we've seen 3-2 splits favoring A. We've seen quite a bit of variety from Dignitas. Again, you liked their approach to this map, but now they've got guns drawn against pistols, and those pistols creeping out slowly are going to give MSL a shooting range, but this range isn't just for fun. It's got some life in itself. It's going to fire back at him, take him up. That's going to force him back slightly. Does give Glaive 1 kill on Cajun in the end as well, but you know, look how low they've gone. This is actually quite interesting. Unfortunately, it's just him remaining to try and take them all down.
Yeah, not much he can do that, although it's a reasonably interesting approach, like you said, from Roeg, actually getting up towards middle and headshotting MSL. They do get shut down rather quickly once they make their ascendance to the top of the ramp. 11-10. Bouncing back and forth here. Dignitas, though, with the lead for now. Another gun round for Roeg. It's going to be Fritz with the AWP. Limited utility, though. Only 3 smokes. And this is a change of pace by the looks of things. You can see Magic's Boy going towards middle, throwing the smoke down, which normally is used by the AWPer to allow him to go for that aggressive pace, but he's going to be boosted up towards mid. We saw RPK using this position earlier. It's very good. With normally the silence M4, Magis with the M4A4 means he is going to be heard from the first bullet. The idea is to get that one frag, and your teammate is actually towards the APC. So you can't get shot in the back. You're trying to get 1 kill and drop down. Cajun B by that APC area to actually all towards long A. So this is a very nice setup, which I appreciate a lot.
Flash over from Freeze. Check left, molly right, push anyone out. AWP to watch them cross. Straightforward, it would seem. We're on the brink of it, Henry, by the way. With us casting, you'd expect this to be done. It'd be 11-11 already.
You think so, but
not if they walk around the corner and Cajun finds the shot, though. Yeah, Freeze is waiting to do the same to anyone at balcony.
It's such a nice setup there from Dignitas. It's perfect for what's coming in.
X-ray is so tantalizing for us, isn't it? Neither of them have any sense of clue that the other is there. Flash pushes them back just a little bit. Just in the corner. This means Cajun's got to watch them. He puts them out. He's got a Molotov in. Cajun hits one. Magic is together, but he goes down. So that's going to give up the bottom of mid, which means Cajun has to go behind the fortified vehicle to protect himself from the push of Alda. But he, well, all right, has some life, but lasts alive. 1 HP. 2 kills, sure, but he's going to have to be extremely clever to pull this back, and he's apparently not going to do so. It's going to be 10-12. We avoid the scoreline. No wishes to be made, but Dignitas still in the lead.
Yeah, that setup just works so nicely there. It works. We know Heroic, another team, Danish, like to work the A in a similar A site in a very similar fashion to what Dignitas do. They get control of mid and towards long A as well. Cajun B is expecting it. As soon as he sees the smokes coming over, he's waiting to drop his incendiary towards long A. And his teammate Magis picks up the kill towards middle. Cajun lights 2 up, and then Rubin is able to rotate in as well. So nice round from them. Another eco now for Heroic. And Magic Boy, early frags there. We didn't catch them, but he gets 2 towards middle, and it's going to be him looking to actually get more as he drops a bomb. 3rd kill on for the ace here. Teammates will steal that away, but a very simple round. Aggressive towards mid, and he picks up the 4th. Great work from Magis Boy.
So 3 to go for Dignitas on map 1 of our 2nd domestic violence matchup, because we had the French go against each other, G2. They're the 3rd team to qualify for the semis. They play the winner of this, NIP Cloud9 on the other side. That's another matchup, much like G2 and Envious. That hasn't happened in a very long time. In fact, I think it's been over a year, if I'm not mistaken, or thereabouts, since Cloud9 and NIP faced off in international tumultuous waters. This is the bait and switch you talked about before. Remember, though, a Molotov can catch this off. Never mind, a flash will do it. Matt just goes down, but do they know MSL's there? Molotov doesn't bounce. It's put out in front. If that had bounced, it would have forced him out. Staying out in front will contain him, but you still have to wrap around to find it. Madi might help in that, because he'll go back out, and MSL coming directly toward him. Watch the Molotov out. Now MSL knows it. Push through danger. Bolda's going to have his gun drawn. This nearly gets chaotic for Heroic. He does get the kill back, but now the flank comes in from Config, and it's a 3 versus 2 in the post plant. But only 1 player right now from Dignitas is left directly on top of the site. Madi's got to pull that back as Config They've lost sight of him. They lost track of him. Do they know he's at the bottom of middle, or is he still going toward danger towards low HP and Freeze, who does decent damage onto him in turn, but falls to a 2 versus 2. There's 2 kits, but very, very little opportunity left as that bomb continues to tick. Molotov will go too far. Maudy's got the cross covered. That gives him the kill on Cajun and Config, 5 HP. He's caught immediately. Gone. And it'll be 13-11. Finally, response from Heroic.
Well, Dignitas tried that little setup towards Long A, but you could see Heroic ready to check it as well. The flashbang's coming as well. They find the kill and shut it down rather efficiently there. And after losing so many rounds in a row here, the scoreline was 6-1 before, make it 7-1. It's going to be Heroic finding their second round of the half. Definite reset potential here, but Orb set up for Cajun B once again. Round number 25, 13-11. Heroic looking to get back into this one. The T sides have been difficult for both teams here.
We definitely are seeing a very, very different approach to this game than the last. It's a great example of how games can be played close, teams can counter each other, and we can have good CS in 2 very different versions and forms on the same map, back to back. So as a viewer, if you're interested in the strategy and technical elements of CS, you're seeing a fine example of it tonight.
Yeah, this is a much different shade of Counter-Strike than what we saw in the first game. But here we go, then the first 2 frags have come in for Dignitas. It's Cajun B to find the second. He did draw the bomb, that's been recovered by Glaive, but MSL, he wants more out of this.
Whoa.
And what a call it is as well, the spray down! And he finds both of them. What a play from MSL, just Modi remaining. You would say that's risky, Matt. No need for it considering the advantage, but he had a feeling. And does it work out? They were caught with their pants down behind the smoke, but Modi finds the kill as MSL was hunting for the third.
And I dare say that slight gap in the smoke encouraged it, because he knew they put the smoke out just to grab the bomb. They'd already done so. And then what's the response? He pushes through it, maybe thinking if they grab the bomb in that fashion, that much panic, maybe they're going to run back. Either way, like you say, it works out, whatever the thought process was. And it's just Modi left against 4, and Dignitas with Heroic just winning this round. This is going to be a reset for them.
Yep, I'm going to have a look at the money right now. So 0 for Vald, 0
and
for
4-round
Snappy,
reset.
1,000 for 2 of them, and just Freaks with 2K. So yeah, this is a pretty harsh reset. It'll be $1,400 coming in. Modi, what weapons he got an AK? He needs to save this. He goes, without saying now, if he dies at this point, they're in a world of trouble. He manages to keep it. What's the play? It's 14-11, 1 away from map point. This is the best of 3. It's the first map in this Danish derby. Or should we call it Danish Dynamite map?
It's not quite as explosive as the French game. I think Danish Derby is.
Yeah,
is
Derby
there.
for now is fine, I would say. It's definitely not as explosive. It's definitely allowed us to calm down a little bit. It's been much slower, much more methodical. Smoke executes and working as a unit as opposed to brute force and electrifying plays all over the place. But this is going to be the force buy from Heroic. Not going to be allowing Dignitas to get to match points, or at least going to try and stop them. And they get 3 Tech-9s here, 2 AK-47s. And they have got a little bit of utility to work with here. It's going to be 4 players towards the B side of the map for now. You can see Snappy with the Tech-9 trying to hold towards mid, see if there is any aggressive play from the CTs.
Config with Cajun B together. And a Molotov thrown. Cajun B is going to go Kenny S style back toward that chicken coop. Config's going to play the stairwell. Maudy, though, forced to go to the right because of a Molotov and a bad thrown smoke. Config, if he peeks on that, they've already got a lineup there, Maudy. Needs to be a little bit careful if they overcommit to that. And Maudy has been spotted now in turn as that smoke starts to fade momentarily, surely. I think it's got about another 6 seconds before it will be fully visible to the other side. And that rings true as Config now makes a decision. There isn't, well, there's 2, but isn't any Molotovs aside from Maudy's close to that position, so they'd have to use it on either stairwell or arch. And does he try and gamble and push into the corner? Because Glaive has the other, and Glaive is far away from all of this. He's over toward A, in fact. He's going to try and cause rotations. He's going to try and sell this and pull them away to give the 2 rifles a chance against the fully fortified defense. Snappy goes down, Tech-9 from far, and the Tech-9 up close. Can't find Rubino either as he adjusts behind the rock. Now Config goes, but it's Freeze with the response. And, well, MSL, I was going to say, and drop room occupy, but they wrap back through that windowsill as always. Molotov out toward Cajun B. It'll bounce perfectly. Force him out. AK's got the kill. Glaive's giving them a chance. Smoke out on the bomb. It's 2 versus 2, but the AK's lost. And Maudy, they know he's in that smoke. How does he get away from this? The flash is clever, but not clever enough. It'll go to 15. And the money was tight before. It's not going to be much better off, although the bomb plant will give them 2-round bonus plus that, so.
Yeah, still not much to work with there, Matt. They're going to be limited to a similar sort of buy, maybe a Galil here and there, but they could get one AK with no armor, but it's going to be rough. 15-11 now, 4 in a row required with no money particularly available. So I think Tech9's across the board is going to be the protocol here going forward. It was another beat-sided attack and came down to that 2-on-1, like you said, Modi. He had 4 seconds when he was planting there, had no other choice but to get it down in the smoke, and he's detected at that point. So they've gone for the utility heavy buy. They could have got some rifles and had nothing ready to work with in terms of the grenades, but this time they go for the Tech9s, smokes, Molotovs. You'd assume a full execute here, wall of smoke, try and get the bomb down, push through the smoke to the Tech9s and see if they can get something operating in that manner.
Config this time is going to have an early Molotov against him, so he can't even push toward the arch or sit on the stairwell. There's another position in all of this, though. He actually waits patiently to catch Modi. We'll talk about that second position. This is actually even more clever. He's got the smoke. He's in late. They've bypassed him. He's going to let them go, and Cage and B knows they're pushing up. Goes for no scope, can't land. Snappy at least finds one. And Config, okay, he pulls it back. He goes to the pistol. He sprayed down and didn't get enough, and then he's going to close it out. And Dignitas.
Oh, they're loving it.
They're screaming over it, Heroic. We're getting it fired up. It was slow and methodical, but it's definitely explosive in the booth.
Yeah, absolutely. Rubino's pumped. That's what we want to see. They pick up the first map here.
There's a third position aside from the stairwell and the arch out toward the entrance on B. That's along the back wall. There's 2 big wooden doors that are closed, but there's little nooks that you can sit in beside. And if you get Molotov'd out early, you can play there, and oftentimes it doesn't get checked. But I have to say, Config made a hell of a play in that situation to push back through around the smoke and ends up getting a 3K to close it out. And Dignitas, who started this by getting blown out in this tournament, 16-3 against Godsent, and Heroic, surprising everyone, they've just taken them off on map 1, and we saw how much that meant, and now it's a mental game, I think, as much as anything, as much for Heroic.
Yeah, what a great map it was. Like you said, not as exciting or as crazy as the French derby, but still, in terms of the CSOs played, it was quite beautiful on the T sides there, and Dignitas have some great approaches and good adjustments as well. Great game of CS overall.
Well, we'll take a break and join the analysts any second. Right. We saw some nothing. We saw some other stuff. I don't know what's going on. Something's changed. It's not on my script, but we'll be back in a second.
Gaming Bets, online betting for every esports fan. Dota 2 and Hearthstone, CSGO and Overwatch, StarCraft 2, the choice is yours. Express bets for multiple matches or live bets on the game you are watching right now. Know your way around Dota 2, make a prediction for picks and bans. Playing CSGO, guess the number of rounds in a certain match. Daily quests for all participants and all the best choice of payment systems. More than 600,000 users have already made their bets on the spectacular matches since 2011. EGB.com. You know for sure who's gonna win.
Getting tired of playing with the usual skins, but don't have enough money to buy a new one? Get rich fast with CSGoFast.com. CSGO Fast. It's a strong chance of winning in every game. Several rooms with different game modes. Daily, more than 1,000 games, 5,000 players, and 25,000 skins at stake. You don't need much in order to sweep the board.
Dota 2 and Hearthstone, CSGO and StarCraft 2, the largest contests in the history of esports among the national teams. World Electronic Sports Games, the World Championship with the total prize pool of $4.5 million US. Registration for Europe and CIS regions is open. The finals will be held from October 6 to 9 in Kiev, Ukraine. Win your slot in the finals of the World Championship. Register right now.
So we have confirmation Heroic have finally lost a map here at StarSeries Season 2, and they go down to their countryman, Team Dignitas. But it's not over yet. It is a best of 3 after all. But we are going to break down a game number 1, a map that Heroic picked themselves, and they've gone down on it. We're back on the panel with our 3 members once more, and I have to tell you that there was an ace in the middle of that was pretty special.
Cajun B.
Cajun B. Stepping up yet to get the cleaner.
Yeah.
He came to clean on an eco round.